Wow, I couldn't believe it. I was getting kicked out of my own home, my own family. Why? I'm ashamed to say I just couldn't get it up like I used to. The sex for her just wasn't good enough anymore. I'd be lying if I didn't tell you at this point I felt less like a man. You see, it rarely happens suddenly. The emotional stress, the disappointment, the anger, the shame, the discouragement, the frustration builds for months, maybe even years. Then it explodes, like a volcano. If I were brutally honest, I'd have to say my wife and I were in a severe sex drought. It had been over 2 years since we had really good sex. Sex where maybe she didn't orgasm, but she really enjoyed it. I love my wife, deeply, passionately even. But during the last 6 months, there was no sex to speak of, and she was getting more and more pissy about it by the week. It became crystal clear as time went on. I could rarely get it up, and if I could, I couldn't go the distance. Sometimes I couldn't even get it in, if you know what I mean. She was beyond frustrated, and one day, I guess she just blew a gasket. The things that came out of her mouth, I can't repeat them. But suffice to say, her words broke my heart. I have scars, even to this day. So, before things turned violent, I packed my bags and I left. Little did I realize, that's when my hell really started. I still get tingles up my spine when I think about what I'm going to tell you next. Because these dramatic events led me on a most unexpected journey to a most unexpected miracle. Deep inside the impenetrable rainforests of South America, I stumbled onto a surprising solution. One that completely wiped out my problems getting hard, not to mention restoring my primal masculine essence as a man, just in time to save myself from a fate worse than death itself. Hi, I'm Jeff. I want you to know that if you've ever felt trapped in your body because the soul-sucking symptoms of erectile dysfunction have taken over and prevented you from living a happy, full, and sexual life, you don't deserve to live like this. The good news is, you don't have to anymore. No one has to. That's because in just a minute, you're going to learn a simple way to regain your sex life and start feeling like the dominant virile man you are again. No, I'm not going to show you how to use dangerous steroids. Instead, you're going to discover how to flush out all the female trait-building estrogen that's coursing through your veins right now, making you feel, act, and perform like less of a man. And it doesn't matter how old you are or what kind of shape you're in. This rather unconventional method restores the ambitious, king of the world attitude you once possessed, so you can begin to experience a full, carefree, uninhibited sex life again. Now, there's more, because you'll also begin to notice a flatter, more toned stomach just by using this one simple method for purging excess estrogen from your system. And once you flush estrogen from your system, at the same time boosting your testosterone, you'll experience less daytime fatigue, deeper, more restful sleep, a surge in your energy levels, and an all-around happier mood. That's because if, like most men over 40, you've been living with an abundance of estrogen, it can make a man feel subhuman, a zombie, just going through the motions. It weakens your mindset for getting shit done, pursuing the opposite sex, wanting to get outside and do stuff, and even basic life functions like your wake-sleep cycles, your mood, even your serotonin and dopamine levels. So if you've been feeling like too little testosterone and too much estrogen is disrupting every part of your life, you're not crazy and you're not alone. A lack of the right testosterone-estrogen balance could very well be at the core of the midlife crisis men go through. In fact, recent research has shown it causes your happy hormones, serotonin and dopamine, to be produced in smaller amounts, causing low levels of listlessness, depression, and moodiness. So no, low testosterone and too much estrogen doesn't just hurt your sex life, it hurts your whole life. And maybe, like many of the people I've worked with, you've blamed yourself or wondered what you did wrong. I used to do that too, but I'm here to tell you, it's not your fault. It doesn't matter what kind of lifestyle you've led. It doesn't matter how fit or how lazy you are. These days, low testosterone can hurt every one of us guys. And how do I know all of this? It all started when I fell into a deep depression. After 17 years of marriage, to know your wife doesn't want you anymore is one of the low points in a man's life. But the pain gets worse when you realize that no woman, no matter how desperate, would want a man whose dick doesn't work. For the next 6 months, I floundered. During that time, I stayed in cheap, flea-bag motels because I just couldn't bear the thought of going through a divorce. I yearned for the moment she'd take me back. So sit tight, because I'm about to reveal the one thing you are unknowingly doing every single day that is sabotaging your masculinity and compromising your sex life. And you'll be shocked to learn how just 1 or 2 simple changes to your daily routine can stop the madness and safeguard your health and well-being against future damage. Yes, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I've experienced it myself, And now, so have tens of thousands of others. So pay close attention, because in this short presentation, I'm going to share with you the 3 most common masculinity-destroying mistakes guys make all the time. Ones that can ruin your quality of life. These 3 mistakes are so common, and I used to make them all myself. In fact, they were even promoted and recommended by top fitness and healthcare industries for years. Yet, cutting-edge research now reveals these 3 things are in fact hurting guys like you and me. So, you'll want to stop doing them right away. For the sake of your masculinity. I'm so excited to share this with you today because if I had known this information sooner, it would have saved my marriage, saved my sex life, saved me from years of physical and mental hell that brought me to the brink of almost losing everything I cared about. And right when I was at my lowest, I got served divorce papers. 17 years of my life down the drain. But I just couldn't sign them. Now, I knew I couldn't afford expensive testosterone shots every week. Plus, if I could, I knew they'd screw up your hormones long-term and make things even worse. The dick pills the doctor prescribed me gave me a racing heart and hideous migraines. I should have known better. In a Cedars-Sinai study of over 1,473 men who experienced a major adverse reaction with these pills, 522 of them actually died within 4 to 5 hours of taking the pill. And a majority of those were younger guys, under the age of 65, like you and me. 522. That's more than 1/3 dead. I was losing hope. I was persona non grata around the family I love. And my wife now wanted to be my ex-wife. I didn't feel like a man. I was so screwed. However, today, I'm living proof that with this one simple male-enhancing trick, it's possible to not only bounce back, but feel better than you ever have in years. Inside the bedroom and out. And I know this might sound too good to be true, but it's not. Because if it wasn't for this unlikely solution, I probably would have committed suicide, let alone try and make amends with my wife. And you may be surprised to hear that this same routine that saved my body, mind, and spirit even works better if you're over the age of 40. Here are just a few of the happy guys who've experienced this for themselves. Chuck wrote in to say, "Hi, my name is Chuck, and I am a fabulous 60 years old. And I say that because I truly am joyful that I am 60 and still able to more than satisfy my wife of 40 years. I've always been the person who was fairly active, and as I got older, I noticed my libido was starting to impede my ability to do things. I read a newspaper article about Jeff and his solution, and I thought, I need to give this a try. I can honestly say it has changed my life. I can honestly say I feel 21 years old again, ready to take on the world." And Tony emailed in to say this. "Hi, my name is Tony. I'm 56 years old. I was having ED problems, and I started taking all sorts of vitamins with no results. So the doctor told me that I would need hormone replacement therapy. It's expensive and not covered by insurance. I didn't really want to do that, so I looked for an alternative, and I wanted to do something that was healthy and good for my body. So I went online and heard about Jeff's formula, and it's amazing. I feel so good. My body feels good. Ever since I've done this, I felt healthier, more fit. I even lost some fat and added some muscle." And Bob got straight to the point. "Hi, I'm Bob. I had ED. Fortunately, I discovered Jeff and his formula. It changed my life. And it's changed my wife's life too. Like many of my clients, you may be moved to tears at how amazing you suddenly feel, perhaps for the first time in your life. The sexual drought is over. And it all starts with this simple solution I discovered in the deep, dark jungle. If you're watching this, I know how motivated you are to break free from pain, heartache, and embarrassment, and start living your life to the fullest again. It was at this time I was in the depths of my lowest funk, and I decided I needed a change, in a big way. Have you ever been in that place where you were in so much emotional pain you were seriously considering the unthinkable? I was. So, at my friend's encouragement, he and I booked a trip into the jungles of South America. We had heard of these ayahuasca retreats, where a mystical native shaman administers ayahuasca, a potent psychedelic drink, and you basically connect with the deepest parts of yourself. In so many ways, it's a deeply moving, profound experience. One side effect, your dreams and visions are vivid. The drink is so powerful, its mere mention brings nodding heads from those in the know. And the impenetrable jungles of South America were the only place you could get it. For almost 2 weeks, my friend and I downed the shaman's nasty-tasting potion, experiencing psychedelic trips that blew our minds. And I had a revelation. I discovered the true reason my life had gone to shit, and I committed myself to turn it all around. And I didn't know how at the time, but that included getting my wife and family back. While we were down there, I met a guy who was partners with Shima, the shaman. His name was Troy, and he was a herbalist. Troy basically ran the retreat. We quickly struck up a friendship. One day, I jokingly asked him if he had anything up his sleeve for my dick problems. Now, I was beyond the point of feeling embarrassed. I was beyond the point of caring what anyone thought. I was looking for a solution. He smiled and said, "Let me think about it." The next morning, he came by and asked if I minded if he put a powder in my coffee. I said, "Why not?" He smiled as he mixed his grayish powder into my cup. That afternoon, we had one of our ayahuasca sessions, and it was particularly powerful. I dreamed I was an ancient warrior king. This particular image of this giant warrior king was intriguing because in battle, he was an absolute monster. His army was known for striking fear in the hearts of their enemies. Yet, returning from battle, he was surrounded by beautiful wives and dozens of children. The whole dream was mentally and physically incredibly intense. The next day at breakfast, I was telling Troy how unusually strong I felt. Man, I felt incredible. Not only did I feel clear-headed, I felt amazing, like I hadn't in years. Strong like bull, as my father used to say. Troy smiled as he added his powder to my morning cup of coffee. The next day, something amazing happened. At the ripe old age of 47, I got a severe case of morning wood. The kind of morning wood a teenager would get. It felt incredible. My body, as well as my mind, felt an easy 25 years younger. I had to rub this one out. To me, it was a miracle. Most guys don't realize this, but even in our 30s, our manhood is under attack every single day. It doesn't matter if you're a porn star or a normal, everyday person. Your body is still at risk. And it's not your fault. You're not doing anything wrong, because these days, these silent enemies to a guy's masculinity are completely unavoidable. Whether it's feminizing pesticides in our food supply, soy products, which contain huge amounts of emasculating phytoestrogens, phytoestrogen mimickers like BPA in our bottled water and canned foods, or female hormones in our meat to fatten up livestock. I'll tell you, we are so screwed. Or the fact that we don't get as much exercise as our forefathers. The very essence of what makes men men is under assault. And that's not even mentioning what aging does to our hormone levels. What's happening in our society these days affects absolutely every man. Yet most have no clue. And that's why if you've ever blamed yourself or wondered what you did wrong, it's time for you to stop beating yourself up right now. Please listen, when I say there is no way you could have avoided the hormonal assault on your body, that's because hormonal imbalances comes from living your everyday modern life. The unavoidable advances in technology are battering your body. Everything you do, from eating to drinking and bathing in water to the plastics you use, is pulling your body out of whack, causing long-term internal damage almost every minute of every day. So, even if you've made the best efforts to keep your body in great shape, it's still under attack. So keep watching, because first I need to warn you about the 3 worst testosterone-destroying mistakes I see men make all the time. And I even made these mistakes for years without realizing. Which brings us to mistake number 1. Drinking bottled water. Water is obviously essential to life. Unfortunately, bottled water contains a nasty xenestrogen called BPA. BPA is a known estrogen mimicker, meaning over time, it feminizes men's bodies, giving them things like man boobs and layers of fat deposited on the hips, butt, and belly, making you look soft and pudgy. Unless you know the secret that flushes excess estrogen from your system, as I'm about to reveal, these changes are permanent. Bottles aren't the only thing to worry about. BPA from plastics leak into cans, packaging of food, rivers, streams, lakes, oceans, and everything else. Plastic is everywhere. You can't escape it. It sucks, but over 93% of Americans have BPA in their systems. It directly reduces sperm counts in males. And it gets worse. Mistake number 2. Let's talk about soy products. These days, for health reasons, soy has become a replacement for all kinds of animal products such as meat and dairy. Unfortunately, according to a UCLA study, regular consumption of soy leads to enlargement of breast tissue, water retention, female pattern fat deposition, and mood swings. Not to mention, decreasing free testosterone. This is another reason why you see more feminine, metrosexual men. Even the website BuzzFeed.com acknowledged this with their study of extremely low testosterone scores. Most of my clients are amazed when I share stuff like this. And I'm just getting started. You need this information. Without it, you unknowingly self-sabotage your masculinity. And trust me, girls sense stuff like that and avoid relationships with those men. Now, any guy intent on making his girl happy while living life to the fullest needs ample testosterone. So you're going to love that 1-2 punch that 1. Flushes excess estrogen from your system, and maybe even more importantly, 2. Raises testosterone rapidly. I'll tell you about it in just a second, but first, let's get on to mistake number 3. Lack of sleep. If hitting the hay late every night is the new norm for you, it might be in your best interest to change up your routine. A new study funded by the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute found that testosterone levels dropped significantly in men who don't get enough sleep, equivalent to aging 10 to 15 years. These lower levels affect more than just sex drive. Testosterone deficiency is also linked to lower energy, poor concentration, fatigue, and decreased strength. The team of researchers at the University of Chicago Medical Center even found that men who slept less than 5 hours a night for 1 week had significantly lower levels of testosterone than when they were fully rested. The study analyzed 10 healthy, lean guys averaging around 24 years old. They were young compared to older guys. However, when deprived of sleep, their testosterone levels dropped by a whopping 10 to 15%, with the lowest levels reported between 2 to 10 p.m. Yeah, right when it's time to make your move on your woman. Now, I'm living proof this 1-2 punch technique flat out works. To make a long story short, by the end of my vacation, I left the ayahuasca retreat a renewed man, physically, mentally, emotionally, and sexually. But, to be honest, I still harbored doubts. Okay, fears. Confidence issues still haunted me. While I was coming out the other side, I'd been through hell. That's why my friend and I decided instead of going home, we went to Vegas. Why? So I could check out my newfound hardware on a real woman, not Xena the warrior princess who I fucked in my ayahuasca dreams. So, we went out to a bunny ranch type of brothel and I hooked up with an atomic blonde named Megan. And I have to tell you, the plumbing still works. After I reconfirmed my manhood all night long with Megan, I decided to go back home and take back my wife. But when I got home, I was in for a shock, because my wife had company. A big guy named John. John was this 6'3" black football player type. Huge. Did I feel intimidated? Well, I'd be lying if I told you I didn't feel blood rushing through my veins. But I didn't care. Fuck, I was convinced in a previous life I was Cruel, the Warrior King. So in the best Clint Eastwood impression I could muster, I invited John to leave. And not come back. He got the message. Loud and clear. And surprisingly, he left with his tail between his legs. I promise you, 3 years ago, I could have never done that. Now, it was my wife's turn to be shocked. And my wife screamed, "How dare you?" And I demanded, "How dare I what? You're my wife, and I do what I please." And with that, I took her into my arms and kissed her like I never have in my entire life. She melted. She absolutely melted. And I scooped her up and took her to my bedroom, where I proceeded to fuck her brains out for the first time in years. And it was because of that almost magical powder from Troy. Now, before I left South America, Troy generously shared with me his formula, as he shared with me his gardens. Acres of herbs from around the world. I was very grateful. It had given me a part of my life back that I thought I'd lost forever. And now, I have the opportunity to share Troy's formula with you. But before I do, I want to share with you the secret to first flushing the excess estrogen flooding your system through pesticides, BPA, plastics, and other estrogens. Because a big part of the problem is not just having enough testosterone, it's also about reducing the excess estrogen in your system. The belly fat and man boobs aren't because you have low testosterone, they're because you have too much estrogen, or estradiol to be specific. More than a few guys I've talked to told me their tests show their wives have more testosterone than they did. To dramatically lower estrogen, it's pretty simple and very effective. The key compound is called D-limonene. D-limonene increases liver enzymes to help rapidly break down estrogen. The best place to find D-limonene? Amazingly, it's found in abundance in the outer skin of lemons. So here's the recipe. Squeeze the juice of 4 lemons into a glass. Put the lemon peels into a pot of water and boil them. Let the contents cool, then add back to the lemon juice. Then drink the mixture. Do this regularly and you'll lose the man boobs and melt the feminizing fat fast. When I got back to the United States, I started doing this daily, and I was shocked at the results. I lost about 20 pounds in 6 weeks, drinking just a glass of this lemon drink every day. I think you'll love the results. So, with the excess estrogen conquered, let's talk about boosting your testosterone. The formula Troy gifted me and I'm now gifting you has been responsible for not only getting my life back, but thousands of other guys too. For instance, Jay wrote and said, "I'm so thankful I watched your video, because your South American guy's formula changed my life and restored my marriage." Ron wrote, "You saved me from purgatory and masturbation, because like you, my wife divorced me, and for 3 long sexless years, I didn't have the balls to go out on a date." Jeff emailed and said, "This is incredible. I haven't felt this strong and clear-headed in years. The old me is back." So, here's the ingredients Troy shared with me in South America. The first powerful ingredient in Troy's unique formula is fenugreek. The ancient herb has been used as an aphrodisiac for thousands of years. It even came with a famous endorsement. Troy told me King Tut was so reliant on it, he insisted it be buried inside his tomb. I guess he could bang chicks in the afterlife, I don't know. Fenugreek is not only believed to aid in boosting testosterone, but the evidence shows it's crucial for what I call jack timing. This means you ejaculate exactly when you're supposed to, not an hour later or minutes before. It's probably the single most important ability for any guy who wants to fuck like a porn star. Next is an ancient Indian and Chinese herb called Tribulus terrestris. Researchers found that when men with reduced sex drives consumed Tribulus terrestris daily for 2 months, it multiplied their sexual desire, arousal, and satisfaction. Tribulus terrestris also helps in triggering the body to produce more testosterone. Other reports have shown significant improvements in erections and sexual satisfaction. There's a reason. Tribulus improves intercavernous pressure inside your cock, maximizing the pro-erectile effect on the penis corpus cavernosum. Because of that internal pressure, Tribulus restores your ability to explode your load. It's kind of like vigorously shaking a bottle of champagne before popping the top. Next up in Troy's formula is the supreme male enhancement herb, stinging nettles. What's amazing about nettle is that it contains multiple compounds like the flavonoid chrysin that act as natural estrogen blockers. So even if you are eating massive amounts of phytoestrogens like soy, they have no effect. Not only that, but researchers have also shown nettle increases testosterone, restoring your natural virility. Nettle also helps in hair regrowth. Nettle leaves are rich in silica and sulfur. This helps in making hair shinier and healthier. Next, cordyceps. People commonly call cordyceps a mushroom, but it's technically a fungus. Whatever you may call it, it's magical. After it kicks in, your focus goes through the roof and sexual energy feels almost limitless. In the bedroom, you feel more powerful and virile. Your woman feels it too. As early as the 15th century, Nyamni Dorji, a Tibetan physician, described both the medicinal and sexual enhancement qualities of cordyceps, claiming it increases semen and is a faultless treasure of an ocean of good qualities. Next, L-citrulline. L-citrulline is an amino acid created by your body. It can also be found in certain foods such as watermelons, legumes, nuts, and meat. The body ultimately converts L-citrulline to nitric oxide. Nitric oxide dilates blood vessels, in turn increasing blood flow. The fresh blood flow is why it's effective in treating cases of physical erectile dysfunction. Taking L-citrulline daily increases blood flow to the genitals, making it ultra easy to get and maintain an erection. The great thing about it is it works fast. Next, super adaptogen Panax ginseng. Panax ginseng is a root known by many names: Asian ginseng, Chinese ginseng, Asiatic ginseng, and Korean ginseng, to name a few. Ginseng likely works like Viagra. It relaxes muscles and improves blood flow to the genital region. One significant study of Panax ginseng showed it improved sexual function in men with ED. What's fascinating is this single root improves erection quality, sperm health, and sex drive. Next, super adaptogen Aleuthero. Mighty Aleuthero has been used to enhance sex, health, and longevity for over 2,000 years. Sometimes called Siberian ginseng, Aleuthero is not a true ginseng. It belongs to the same family as Panax ginseng, has similar benefits, but it's not the same species. Like ginseng, Aleuthero is a proven adaptogen, one of China's super tonics that help the body to resist or adapt to stress. But when it comes to sex, your stamina goes through the roof. We're talking about last all night performances. Lastly, black pepper. Black pepper has very little to do with sexual function, yet when the common spice is combined with Troy's other ingredients, each ingredient's impact is amplified. It's like black pepper lights a fuse to your explosive sexual pleasure, giving you up to 10 times results. So, they were fenugreek for ultimate power and control, tribulus to multiply your sex drive, stinging nettles to slow down estrogen production, L-citrulline to maximize blood flow to the genitals, Panax ginseng to get you hard, fast, cordyceps, aka Himalayan Viagra, to maximize all-night-long stamina, Eleuthero to amp up blood flow and size, black pepper to amplify the benefits up to 10 times. It was like I went from limp dick loser to porn star worthy hard. Not only was I rocking a harder, fuller cock, but I was more confident with women and even fucking better. You could say I was screwing like a porn star. And the women around me must have sensed something different because I was getting hit on by girls. They were actually hovering. I could tell. My wife thought I was using pheromone perfume. Hilarious. I kid you not, this was so odd. It was making my reclaimed wife jealous. And I know why now. It's the sex. My wife loved the newfound sex. Since my return and us getting back together, unlike our usual sex before, she's turned into a screamer. I was shocked, but happy I could make her happy. I had my wife back, and she wanted me all to herself. So, based upon my results, I had a few friends from home and at work test out my formula too. I gave it to them so they could see for themselves. The test spread to the point where I had nearly 70 guys in Orange County, California testing it as well. Truth is, the testing didn't last long at all because after just a few weeks, everyone wanted to buy refills. Well, here's what they had to say. Dude, you should get a patent on this. My fuck buddy is really happy these days. You're right, Jeff. Erections come back like you had in your 20s. Today, I got an erection for no good reason. That's happened in like never. When I hold my dick in my hands, it feels really heavy. I've started dating again thanks to you. Nah, I don't do dick pics, but you'd be impressed. At least my wife is. I was pretty amazed, to be honest. We now had a sizable demand for a product that wasn't even really a product yet. I could have rushed to make a buck. Instead, I took my time and searched for a quality manufacturer that could deliver the formula exactly as Troy specified. One that held itself to high standards of quality, purity, safety, and sanitary conditions. Oh, and do it at an affordable price. Let me tell you, it wasn't as easy as I thought. As I quickly found out, most supplement makers out there couldn't care less about creating something that actually works. When I tested their samples, I discovered they'd stuff their products with inferior or substituted ingredients as well as useless fillers like sawdust and rice. What an insult! But this formula was something I was using, and so were all my friends. I couldn't let them down. It took almost a year to put everything together, but when we did, it was all worth it. Because when you take my formula, you really can experience bigger, firmer erections, more power and stamina, and, as my friends have shown, you get to bed down hotter and hotter women too. Now, you could go out and attempt to create this formula yourself, or at least something close to it, but you'd end up spending a ton of time and money and still probably won't be able to find the purest ingredients like I did. And, as I found out, you'd probably make a ton of mistakes before getting it right. Yet, there's no reason for you to put in that kind of effort when I've done all the heavy lifting for you. Introducing Endura Natural's Testosterone Boost. Now you really can get turbocharged boosts by stimulating your own built-in testosterone production. The natural way. The proven way. The Endura Natural's Testosterone Boost way. The first capsule of its kind. Endura Natural's Testosterone Boost is not only backed by the latest modern science, but its ingredients have been tested over centuries by the likes of legendary warriors, powerful kings, and almighty emperors worldwide. Endura Natural's Testosterone Boost is about giving you everything you must have to be a man again. I'm talking about powerful, rock-hard erections that make her scream in ecstasy as you reach deep, unfulfilled pleasure points she didn't know existed. In your hands, or your woman's hands, you have heft. A raging libido that makes you stand to attention and ready for business whenever the situation arises. Unstoppable sexual stamina to last for hours and be the one guy who can truly satisfy her with hair-pulling orgasms every single time. Laser-sharp focus to beat younger guys in the office, out on the court, and even in the club. A lean, more muscular and masculine body that attracts hotter, sexier women. 10, 20, or if you're like Gramps, even 40 years younger. Ultimate bedroom confidence women notice and respond to by saying yes to all those things they used to say no to. Total jack timing that allows you to finish at the moment you choose and not a second too late. What feels like a tsunami of blood flow direct to your penis, allowing you to get the raging boner you haven't seen in years. Be prepared to fuck on such a deep, satisfying level she's going to forget about every other guy who's ever fucked her, because no matter how good they were, they'll be nothing compared to the new you. And Endura Natural's Testosterone Boost can help you get laid more often too. Have you heard that when you have high levels of testosterone, women can literally smell it on you? This happened to me. In one study, women in the most fertile stage of their cycles were asked to smell the sweat of men with different levels of testosterone. And you can guess what happened next. Just from the sweat, the women were able to find the guys with high testosterone and they rated them more attractive. And you know how women are ultra competitive with each other, always comparing their shoes and purses to other women's? Well, when they see a girl way out of your league attracted to you thanks to Endura Natural's Testosterone Boost, naturally, they become jealous and go into full pursuit mode. Kinda like you're one of those TV bachelor dudes where all the women battle over who gets to jump your bones. Isn't it about time you start living life like you're the only real man left on the planet? Because trust me, that's exactly what it's like. The more testosterone you have, the more of a man you become. Endura Natural's Testosterone Boost is how you finally make your testosterone comeback. Like Bob, who said, I decided to have my blood tested as an overall physical. My doctor said he'd never seen a guy my age with such great testosterone numbers. And Jim, who emailed me saying, I was depressed, no sex drive, flabby. Now I'm not. Testosterone is double what it used to be. While Tommy messaged me this. I'm 55. My doctor says I have the testosterone levels of a 25-year-old. I could go on and on. I've talked to hundreds of guys now who tell very similar stories about how Endura Natural's testosterone boost helped them restart their natural testosterone production. You won't get these kind of results with those junk supplements you see at the vitamin store. The only quick, simple answer is Endura Natural's testosterone boost. Just 15 seconds, twice a day. It's made up of the exact amounts Troy specified in South America of the most potent, highest quality ingredients, turning you into a bona fide stud. With the power of Endura Natural's testosterone boost, you can finally surge blood flow for bigger, stronger, rock-hard erections, fight estrogen, man boobs, and man-killing feminization, block performance anxiety in the presence of any woman, melt fat and build lean muscle for a firmer, more toned body, gain the raw sexual energy to go the distance all night long. And that's just for starters. Plus, these are all natural plant ingredients, not chemicals cooked up in some laboratory. So there aren't any labels with crazy warnings like you get with the pills, patches, and injections. And the benefit doesn't stop when you leave the bedroom, because higher testosterone levels are also tied to our ability to focus, think, and just plain get shit done. With Endura Natural's testosterone boost help, you're now able to leave the younger guys in the dust, at work, on the field, and yes, out at the clubs. So you're not just the man among women, you're now a king among men too. It's the only capsule you need to get back everything a man must have to be a man. A strong, powerful cock, and the brain and body to go with it. And it doesn't matter how old you are. Sure, you can boost testosterone through diet or exercise, and if that works for you, then you probably should. But honestly, is it even worth all the effort? Once you start, you can never stop. Trust me, my way is easier. You owe it to yourself to at least try Endura Natural's testosterone boost for a few weeks. There's no risk. Don't you agree you deserve to be able to give a beautiful woman the kind of deep, penetrating, all-night satisfaction she craves? Of course. And let me tell you a secret. When you can finally do that, you'll never lose her. She'll just stop searching for other mates, quit looking for other cocks to give her what she needs, never again take you for granted. Imagine how good it could feel to be deep inside her, plowing her over and over again, until you finally come so hard your cock erupts like a volcano. Now, how much is it worth to you to have the kind of dick that makes her addicted to having you inside her? Let's say your cash was unlimited. You just won the lotto, and you never have to worry about money again. If that's the case, would you pay $1,000? $5,000. What about $10,000 to have that kind of sexual power? Remember, your wallet is now bottomless. You don't have a care in the world other than restoring your masculinity. Hell, if you're like I was, you'd gladly hand over every cent you have to get back what was stolen from you. Anything to make your limp dick hard again, right? But back in the real world, we know money is not unlimited. You'd never know that, though, based on Big Pharma's advertising budget, because a popular gel you see on TV all the time, yeah, the one getting sued, by the way, literally would cost you more than $10,000 per year if you don't have decent health insurance. $10,800 to be exact, right around the price of a good late model car. But I didn't create Endura Natural's testosterone boost to only help guys with a lot of money. I did it to help my friends and men suffering just like I was. Remember, this all started with my wife kicking me out of the house. Now we're tighter than ever, and even if we broke up, I'd be okay. More than okay, especially with all these women hovering like mosquitoes. Now, you and I both agree Endura Natural's testosterone boost is definitely worth that 10 grand if cost was no object. Sure, it's worth that and much more. But for most of us, the price could be the difference between sexual salvation and the quickening of your declining masculinity. In fact, when I was testing Endura Natural's testosterone boost around New York, I had more than one guy beg to join the group by offering me $800 for a supply of capsules. But you're not going to have to pay anything close to that amount. Not even half that. A lot less. When Endura Natural's testosterone boost was first introduced, it was pretty much selling off the shelves for $197. We made a ton of guys very happy at that price. Now, Endura Natural's testosterone boost is already hands down the #1 supplement of its kind when it comes to quality and power. But I'm ambitious. I want this year to be the year it becomes the #1 sexual enhancement enhancer in the world. Can you help me? If you help me, I'll help you more. I've got an amazing limited time offer for you. Like I said, this is for a limited time. I can't promise it'll keep going forever or even beyond today. But if you lock in the price now and only from this page, you can get a full 6-month supply of Endura Natural's testosterone boost for right around $1.75 per day. For less than the cost of your morning cup of coffee, you can get back all that's been taken from you. Everything that makes you a man. Plus, when you take action today, you secure that special discount pricing on all future bottles, even after I'm forced to raise the price. And when you experience fuller, thicker erections and the go-all-night power of Endura Natural's testosterone boost, you're definitely going to want to keep good things going. But before you can take it, you need to take action. Come back in a few days and this special offer may have been removed without warning, and you'll have to pay full price. My advice? Don't let another day go by without the testosterone you need. Go ahead and grab your supply of Endura Naturals now to lock in the discounted rates. And remember, your privacy is assured because Endura Natural's testosterone boost ships in a discreet white package. And if you need my personal guarantee, here it is. I don't just promise your satisfaction. I promise you'll receive big, manly, rock-hard erections, a burning hot sex drive, and a fuller, stronger cock using Endura Natural's testosterone boost, or I insist you just send a little note to the email address in your welcome package, and you'll get every cent back. Go ahead, click on the button below to lock in your special Endura Natural's discounted price forever. You have a full 60 days to try it out, 100% risk-free. Come on. You deserve this. Click below if you want things to start looking up for you. If the most exciting thing your dick does today is piss, then you need an intervention. You need to save your dick from extinction. Click below now before it's too late. You can't lose. I've got your back 100% risk-free for 60 days. So do it right now. Because when I was at the height of my humiliation, I wasn't sure I was ever going to get laid again. I was depressed. I was tired. I had my own little pity party going on for me. But today, I'm a new man. My whole life has changed, and I know yours will too. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Picture your dream girl, a celebrity, the checkout cashier at the grocery store, or maybe just a girl you've had your eye on at work. Now imagine bending her over, stuffing your rock-hard dick deep inside her, pounding her, giving her the most intense orgasm she's ever experienced, and then doing it all over again. And again. Now, quit imagining, because that really can become your every night reality. When you overflow with testosterone, you're no longer the kind of guy who settles for scraps. You're the kind of guy who walks into a room and women just know you've got the goods to make them scream. That woman who's lost respect for you and maybe has even started looking for attention outside your marriage, well, it suddenly becomes like she's the woman you fell in love with all over again. The one who will do anything, everything for you, in the bedroom and outside it too. Because in her eyes, you're the man again. It's that simple. Go ahead and get your mojo back. Click on the button below to save with a deal so good, it's just $1.75 per day. I strongly urge you to act now. This is a special, limited time offer for first-time Endura Natural's testosterone boost users. So take action now and get in on this special price. When you do, you're also locking in the nearly 75% savings for all future bottles. And once you experience the power of Endura Natural's men's testosterone, you're definitely going to want more. Now you know the truth. You know what's going to happen if you go down that path. And it's not pretty. Go ahead and restart your testosterone production the natural way. Click below right now. You still here? Really? Well, the only reason I could think of for you not taking action already is because I haven't fully answered your questions. So let me answer a few questions I received recently. This one's from Dan. Does Endura Natural's testosterone boost have any weird side effects? Unlike the chemical lab-created concoctions Big Pharma comes up with, there are absolutely no warning disclaimers about increased urination, painful erections, or blood clots in your lungs. Yeah, those are actual warnings for a popular TRT gel. Instead, the 7 proprietary ingredients contained in Endura Natural's testosterone boost are all simple plant-based ingredients, natural ingredients that are found in foods like apples and vegetables, and plants that have been consumed by humans for hundreds, even thousands of years. The only thing missing from those plants are the pesticides. That's why I feel so confident that Endura Naturals won't just work for you, but it's a completely safe way to help you begin amplifying or even restarting your natural testosterone production. Okay, next one is from Jim. How soon will I notice the change? Well, you've been under attack for a long time, and you're not going to get out of this mess overnight, or even in just 1 week. To fully replenish your testosterone levels, it takes time. but I can tell you one of the biggest benefits I noticed quickly was the return of my sex drive. This gave me confidence that Endura Natural's testosterone boost was working and the motivation to keep on going. You'll notice changes right away, but the full transformation could take a bit longer. Here's a question from Darren. Is Endura Natural's testosterone boost really the best way to increase testosterone? I have not found a quicker, simpler, and safer way to naturally boost testosterone than Endura Natural's testosterone boost. What I have found were bogus competitors and dangerous pharmaceuticals. You won't have to inject yourself with any painful needles, slap on itchy patches, or fuss with the lawsuit in a bottle known as testosterone gel. But you can think of Endura Natural's testosterone boost as the all-natural Viagra. Just take it twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening, and soon you'll be ready to go whenever and wherever opportunity strikes. Plus, no other supplement comes anywhere close to giving you the sexual power you get with Endura Natural's men's testosterone. This isn't some bogus fad pushed by some greedy supplement corporation, a junk supplement that's not really designed to work in the first place. No way. This is the total opposite of all that junk. 7 powerful ingredients combined on a molecular level in one simple capsule to pack one hell of a punch. I'm talking about being able to perform with the stamina of a marathon runner, the erection intensity of a porn star, and the sex drive of a horny teenager. It's like you're a superhero whose secret weapon is to give women the wildest and most intense orgasms they'll ever experience in their lifetimes. Only this isn't imaginary. It can really be yours with Endura Natural's testosterone boost. So yeah, I may be biased, but I'd call it the best. All you have to do is click below right now to give it a risk-free try. And remember, your bottle of Endura Natural's testosterone boost is shipped to you discreetly in white packaging. So the only way your wife or girlfriend will find out about it is when she sees it and feels it for the first time in the form of your bigger, stronger dick. Question: how does the risk-free guarantee work? The answer is, it's really simple. All you have to do is give Endura Natural's testosterone boost a try. You have a full 2 months to put it to the test. I guarantee you'll experience bigger, stronger erections, or I demand you write me for a full no hassles, no questions asked refund. I won't ask you to send me the empty bottles as proof or make you jump through any kind of hoops at all. Just return the unused, unopened bottles and we'll return every last cent of your money back to you. And that includes the cost of the bottles you used. I stand by Endura Naturals, and I know it can really work for you too. Go ahead and take action below. Now is not the time to shrivel up and hide from greatness. It's time to be a man again. Click below to give Endura Natural's testosterone boost a 100% risk-free try. Do it right now before you miss out on this deal forever. Get your bottles now and you're locked in at the discounted rate forever. I don't care how pathetic and fucked up your life is right now. I don't care if you haven't seen Bush since Bush was president. I don't care if you jerk off more than a 13-year-old with a lock on his bedroom door. I couldn't give a flying fuck if you've resorted to fucking blow-up dolls with vibrating pussies. Just give Endura Natural's testosterone boost a risk-free try for 60 days, and I promise you'll soon become the kind of man that women want and that other guys want to be. Isn't $1.75 worth saving your sex life and everything that makes you a man? I want to help you win this fucking game, pal, but I can't take the shot for you. Only you can do that. This is your absolute last chance. Come on, you've got this. Click below now.